Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 5th round of the 2011 LFSCART Light season. Jonathan Palmer with you here from Westhill International. July 9th, 2011, and we are just up for the start of Super Pole. We've just finished our qualifying runs. And as you see, heading out onto the track for the first lap will be Jarl Tyen. We'll be on board with him as he head about on his outlap. As Prix will be called out next. Super Pole is of course called out in the reverse order of the top 6 from the combined qualifying sessions. We do a split concurrent qualifying session here. We'll take an onboard lap with Aerox Jarl Tyen on his qualifying lap. Westhill is a very demanding track, very fast track. You have very little room for error. The curves are small. We mention this all the time when we come here for GTL, IDTC, MOE, LFSCART. Out of the final turn, Parabolica onto the main straight. For a fast lap, you'll hang to the left-hand side to straighten up. You'll want to start on the left. Can be very tricky during pit stops. You'll have people coming out of the pits there while you're going across the pit exit. Turn one left-hander flat out through turn 2. You may lift off during the race, and you'll definitely need to under traffic. Cross the first split down into turn number 3 along sweeping left-hander. Flat out first sector. A slight lift down a gear for turn number 4, the Jason Levitt corner. Turn 5 there, turn 4, the Jason Levitt corner, of course, where Jason Levitt had his major incident in Master Endurance a couple seasons ago. The fast chicane, and Aerox blows through the tires, and he's going to be in the wall. Jarl Tyen gets the fast chicane wrong, turns 6, 7, 8, and he slams the wall. Some damage, but not enough to slow him down. He will get back going, but he will definitely be last of the 6. The furthest down he can be will be 6th. It looks like we have Mr. Chris Ford joining us in the commentary box now, if I'm not much mistaken.
No, you're not.
Well, Chris, I don't know if you saw Aerox's incident there, but, you just went a little too hot into the chicane, looked.
Yeah, it's just what always seems to happen in that corner, especially in the FO8. It's a very tough corner. See how Isaac Price gets on down there now. Qualifying on R3, that's quite an interesting decision. Must be a strategic one, maybe thinking he could push hard in his outlap and get the tyres hotter than he could in an R2 set. Seems to be working okay so far. He's through that chicane nicely down into the biggest braking point on this track for the left-right chicane in the last split, 44.78. This is easily going to be pole position as long as he doesn't screw up the last corner. Well, for now anyway, Lord.
Only 2 braking zones on this track. That downhill chicane and then the Parabolica here, the last turn. Other than that, it is just a matter of keeping the car on the gray stuff. So around the final pin now for Isaac Price for NX Racing, car number 99. He will come across the line to set a 1:21.34. Next on the course, Robin Heiserman, the winner of the last month's Kyoto 500. He got on well with Jarl Tyen during the last part of the race. They pretty much dominated the last 80 laps or so. and Robin doing a bit of nice defending to keep the win away from Aerox.
Tyne, of course, screwed himself over by being a bit silly, really, in the last corner. Really should have just got down the inside of him, as Phil Diaz said during the time, and just overtaken him, really. There was nothing that Hydraman could have done. Hydraman was being silly in his own right by going that high, and yeah, Tyne just should have just taken a normal line and he would have easily overtaken him, but such is the pressure, I guess he just wanted to follow him and try and get the draft. But here comes Hydraman toward the line, 21.34, the time to beat just now. Is it going to be good enough? Around about 10th down at the second spot. He's in an R2 qualifying set. Here he comes to the line. Robin Hyderman doesn't quite. Almost 0.2 of a second behind the ginger sensation of Isaac Price.
Yep, next on the road, Jarno Lahakkinen. He'll get through the chicane just fine. That fast chicane is very tricky. That's a huge stack of tires. That is a notorious turn for instance. We've seen major incidents on that in the following straight in other series. That is, you hardly brake for that turn. You hardly slow down for that turn. You throw it in and you just hope you aimed it right the first time.
I have to say it's another breathtakingly stupid corner from Live for Speed, I have to say. It might be a bit of a challenge, but it's not a chicane and it's not really a corner really neither. It's just annoying. It's just a nuisance. It could have been a terrific fast corner with a fast left-hand bend, but no, it has to have this silly curb and tyre stack that sends you flying off as Lahakkinen takes pole position with a time 1 minute 21.19. Hutchinson and Cattell still to come. Yeah, as Hutchinson comes into this corner, you'll see what I mean. I think it's supposed to be a chicane. I don't know what you think, Jonathan. It just seems to be a bit of a mess, really.
Yeah, I think it is. It just didn't get tight enough. I would rather see it be. I would rather see it be a fast sweeping bend. You know, kind of like how Hockenheim used to be before they chicaned it. It's kind of a Mickey Mouse chicane. It's not a real chicane. I think it's just. It's not really a corner. I would much rather see it be a very fast, very sharp sweeper. Seb, defending LFSCART champion, third in points, not too far off, but he, of course, had an accident ending his Kyoto 500 just before halfway. He'll be looking to battle his way back, but he'll come off of the final turn now, and let's see what he can do. Had a 44.6 first split. He'll go to second with a 21.25, and will now take on board with Simon Cattell as he'll come down the fast chicane, half a lap away from home here in Super Bowl.
Cattell looking good at the moment. I'm not entirely convinced he's going to beat Lahakkinen. I think Lahakkinen's going to just hold on to pole position unless Cattell could blast through the final corner. Tricky corner to get right, that final one. You always don't really know where to put the throttle on. You've got to feather it and then plant it. But Cattell is around the final corner, up to the line, Jonathan. Here he goes.
And across the line, 121.08, he takes pole. He will get the bonus point for pole. Of course, we must remember Simon had that amazing show of dominance in round 1 at Blackwood. Didn't attend round 2, had abysmal luck in the 2 oval races. He is only about 80-some points out of the championship lead. He is not out of contention at all. He needs a good showing here, though.
Yeah, I think that lap goes a long way to prove the Cattell on road courses is at a level that I believe is out of reach for our 2 championship leaders at the moment. I think the 3 you see at the top of the top 3 in this session are sort of the top 3 road drivers, and I think it's going to all come down to whether they can, one of them can gain enough points in the oval races without taking points off each other to try and get a chance of the championship off of Tyne or Heiderman.
Yeah, Heiderman has been impressive. I think we have a couple other people. We'll get into this as the race progresses, but I think that this is a multiple-person championship right now. So, Chris, we are a few minutes away from ending the grid to get the grid set up. Some of you may remember, back in 2008, New Dimension Racing operated the little series called 1GP. You may remember that we had a round here late in the season. You may remember that that round had an abandoned start after, let's put it this way, everyone failed in that little short straightaway between turns 1 and 2. Do you think there's a chance of that happening again here? Oh, Chris. Well, Chris appears to kind of be off for the moment, as it were. Of course, don't forget that we have a formation lap back to the grid for a standing start, which always is filled with excitement. So we'll be setting up for that very shortly. And that would be the cause of all your spam. So there's the grid set, and Chris, you see the grid. Who do you think will lead out of turn 2? Let's assume Chris is here right now. So a quick run through of the grid. Okay, so we should be set here now. Pretty much. And I'll hope Chris is back here for the start. So I can have someone else to help me call the start. But Simon Cattell and Jarno Heikkinen on the pole. Well, looks like Chris is back now. Chris, we got Simon Cattell and Jarno Heikkinen on the front row. They had a big battle round 1 at Assen. Do you think we may see it again here?
I reckon that we could see a few people battling it out today. I think Price and Hutchinson are around the pace as well. Yeah, I think it should be pretty interesting, but we'll see. I think that it'll be interesting to see tyre strategies, whether somebody might go longer or might try and go all the way on their tyres. I'm not entirely sure that'll work, but I haven't put any effort in the FO8 on this track for this race, so I don't really know. But it'll be interesting to see what actually happens in this race. I think that Cattell and Heikkinen will try and get away, but I think Hutchinson will be right there. I think this it'd be hard track to pass on, but I think that there's a couple of places, if you're close enough, you'll just be able to make it through, so it should be a decent race.
Yeah, I posed this earlier. I think you missed it, but if you remember 1GP 2008, we had a big incident West Hill going into turn 2, red flag. Do you think this race may see a major incident in that first turn?
After the Kyoto 400 and the 500, That's a good sum it up, but I think we'll just have to wait and see, I guess, as we wait for Chris Wilkinson to be ready. Come on, everybody, let's get on with this race.
Yep, 47 laps. It's set to 48. We'll have one formation lap first. Everyone will return to the grid. We'll pause for a bit and then get on. And Chris, I know you love this standing start setup.
Yep, add another dimension, I guess, to start the race. It's good to get your tyres warmed up before the start. You know, heading into turn 1 and turn 2, as in with cold tyres right from the off. I think it's useful anyway. Here's a question for you. What is this red line that the viewers might be able to see just now? That's behind Jarno Heikkinen and in front of.
That is, I placed that in for future use. And that'll be the red flag line, which not technically used in any set of regulations yet, but intended to be in the future. While we are on the formation lap here, quick run through of the grid. As we've mentioned on pole, Simon Cattell, he gets a point for that. Jarno Heikkinen in second. In third, Sebastian Hutchinson. Fourth, Isaac Price. Fifth, Robin Heijerman. Sixth, Jarl Tyen. Claudius Gasunis in 7th, 8th. Sasha Riegler, his debut in LFSCART. You know, we've seen a lot in our LFSCART Light in the Fox, but he stepped up to the big guns now. 9th, Phil Diaz. Matthias Ventjärvi in 10th. 11th, Alan Terzic. 12th, Samset Jorvansu. Chris Wilkinson will be our in-race reporter. He'll be starting in the 13th position. Let's take a look at him real quick. So we see Wilco in that grey and black FO8. Rasmus Salo in 14th. Grabowski in 15th. Michael Booth will start 16th. Safety car Steve Martin will start 17th. Ronalds Campars in 18th. Dominic Engel, the milkman, 19th. Jan Laprevod. David Junt times out before the start. He will be able to rejoin if he can rejoin in time. Thilo has also timed out. So, yeah, 20th, Jan Laprevot. 21st, Ronald Krampus. Jaroslav Donilik, 22nd. Alexis Jorg, 23rd, and Corey Green will start shotgun on the field. Well, so that's a timeout before we even get to the gridding, but these sort of things will happen here. Checking through the back of the grid.
Michael Booth heading for the pit lane.
Yep, he will take the start from the pit lane, obviously, now.
As we get ready to go.
Everyone is set except those that we know aren't, so here we go. Watching for lights, red lights come on, all in sequence, and they go. It's a long hold, a very long hold, and they go green. Simon leads away, brilliant start over Lahaikinen. Oh, and a big mess as we come down the front stretch. That's when Jarvi off.
Yep, Townsend's involved as well. Oh, and Hutchinson spins out of turn number 2, and he was side by side with Heiken, so I wonder if he just got forced a little bit wide. And Sebastian Hutchinson is suddenly right to the back of the field, apart from the people who start with the pit lane and Vinchfari. So that's a disaster for Sebastian Hutchinson. His right rear tire is destroyed. There's another car off ahead as well, I think, and that appears to it is a Sonic Realms card's Riegler who's also off, so drama at the start here at West Hill.
It's always bits of drama here at the start. There's a little more with Tyan. Tyan's been shuffled to the back. He was just off course a bit. 3 wide just ahead with Krampus, Terzic, yes, Eunice. Krampus backs out. Terzic goes through, makes a bit of contact. Spins.
Oh, and he holds it. Kasunas holds it. Terzic's now back on the grass. What's Terzic actually doing? He seems to be in a bit of a world of his own out there today. There are other cars around you, Alan. Wake up, Alan. There's a car there. Come on, Alan. Wake up.
And Krampus has had a spin.
He seems to be oblivious to other cars at the moment. Very, very strange.
Goes up the inside, makes a little bit of a brush with George, but he'll be side by side down the main stretch with Sasha Riegler.
We have Stephen Martin and Dominic Engel side by side in turn 1 over 8th position, so that's a good start for Dominic Engel, who of course had his penalty after the Phoenix 400.
Yep, and
Vinchfari Hutchinson! Whoa! That was very, very close. Vinchfari got a little toe. Vinchfari squeezing Hutchinson as well there, so I want. Is Hutchinson really in the wars at the start of this race? It looked to see Vinchfari went for a little dive into turn number 2, hit Hutchinson wide, and then squeezed him as Hutchinson was trying to recover. So that was a little bit of interesting driving there for Matty Vinchfari.
Yep, but this will be good news for Simon, because he will gain on Sebastian, or on Seb and Aerox, as long as they stay down there and he stays up front. His closest competition, but he still has Heigerman up in second.
Because Lycan has had problems. Something's happened to Lycan on this lap, because he's suddenly dropped into 5th position behind Heigerman Price. You're advancing with Diaz right behind him.
Yep, so Chris will go take a look at some replays here. Well, things start to settle in. I just saw someone go wide. That was Seb going wide at the final turn. Now, that is, of course, easy to do. You want to get out wide so you can arc the exit, but you get, looks like just a little too wide on entry. Oh, and Riegler having to lock down on the anchors through turn 1, getting sideways, well, tucked on the inside of someone, and that will roast his tires just, a teeny bit. Battle here for the second position, and we have a problem at the chicane. Alexis Yorick having a spin with someone else. David Junt also having an issue. But back to the front, battle for second still between Isaac Price, Robin Heigerman. Price gets around Heigerman.
So basically, Hudginson drifted wide into Heikkinen and ended up spinning himself. Really, Heikkinen lucky didn't come off there. A little bit the Fragmaster's side draft there for Sebastian Hutchinson, I think we can say. Tyan also went off in turn number 2, so that's why he's far back at the moment. Also, he had an interesting incident on the parade lap with Claudius Kasunas, who didn't seem to notice that the field was slower than the gap that had been left, so that was hard lines there for Tyan.
Yep, just taking a look at this gap Simon has. He's already into the first chicane. He's already got a nearly 4-second gap here in just 4 laps of the race. He is starting to pull away. He has this season seemed a bit like the Sebastian Vettel of the series. When he's clear and ahead, he does well, but if he's mired in traffic a bit, he can have a bit of problems. Pit window is now open. Donnelly having an issue. Chicane, he'll be off in the gravel at the downhill chicane, but he gets out easily. Michael Booth also throwing up a yellow flag while avoiding.
James Engels dropped back again, sorry, just to say this, and now he's coming past Stephen Martin again on the outside, running down the first turn. So something's happened to Engel because he was right up there with Chris Wilkinson, sporting his new football team's colours today, as you might know. It's John the Palmer. He's no longer a Sunderland fan, he's now turned to Newcastle United, and he's got a Motorsports logo on there, as we'll remember them with full memories.
Steve had a problem, and he got rear-ended by Aerox through the on the exit of turn 2. I saw Steve going slow there, and I got to the car just behind him, and I think that was Steve that got punted up the back.
Yeah, it looks like it, because I suspect he probably had draft and had to back off, and backed off too much for Tyan to be able to notice. And we've got Corey Green causing a yellow flag in the chicane, and Corey Green has gone off the track and has a nice Alan Prost style bent front nose.
Yep, unfortunate luck for him, the only representative of core racing here.
Look, how on earth you'd think that would cause a lot more damage than it has to the suspension. Lance Jorg also showing us causing yellow flag, but he's not in Sector 1, so that's just a malfunctioning system slightly there.
Yeah, he just exited the pit, so that will be for a caution. We'll get a throw-up of a caution every once in a while. And you will probably see those on the broadcast because we've logged in the multiBC with the administrator account. So that's one thing we haven't mentioned much yet here is the effect that the draft has on you here at this course. It as we have mentioned though that it's very fast track, only 2 real braking zones, but very fast as we've seen this first half of the lap, very fast sweeping turns, and you want all the downforce you can get. Isaac Price sets fastest lap, 1:22.53. He is slowly reeling in. Simon, it looks like. Go on board with him here. Down towards through turn 5 now, and now just a slight tap on the brakes. 4, 5, 6, and 7. He's got a lapped car then, Simon. Grabowski off in the Sonic Realms car through turn 5. He is just waiting for a decent gap to rejoin in. He does, gets a little slide on as he does, but keeps it going the right way around. Some close action on the track. Dami Angle and Chris Wilkinson, but it looks like Dami pulls away a bit.
As Vengefari and Hutchinson, Martin go side by side into turn number 2. Vengefari goes right the way around the outside, all the way around Steve Martin. So Steve Martin dropping back further.
Yeah, while you were away there, I had kind of tried to discuss the effect of the draft as here, but I figured you'd want to chime in. It hasn't really been covered, but yeah, we mention this every time we're here. But again, the draft is dangerous on a large part of the track, but beneficial on a good chunk of the track.
I mean, the draft is heightened at West Hill because of the fast-flowing nature of the track, especially in a car that relies on the aerodynamics and the downforce levels the cars generate. If you're going in turn 2 especially, that's a nasty corner. Also turn 1's quite nasty as well. But other corners such as the fast chicane, inverted commas, if you can get a nice run there, you get a nice big draft all the way down the back straight into the biggest braking zone. And if you're brave, you can get around turn 2, turn 3 as David Junt goes for a little spin. Actually, David Junt does spin. Around he goes in the final sector. Yes, Cattell is away.
And we'll just take a quick look at Simon. He is in the fast chicane now. It's really the last sector is really its own track. Apart from it, it kind of, you could say, doesn't fit the rest of West Hill. We see Simon goes into the downhill chicane. Yeah, it's the heaviest, one of the heaviest braking points on the track. The other's coming up here. This is kind of a smoothish, easy section. Yeah, this last sector is a stark contrast to the first 2 sectors.
Yeah, it's almost as though the track designer decided, ooh, let's stick some slow and off-camber annoying corners in every car in the last sector here, having had nice, fast, quick, tight corners through the rest of the track. But it would have been nice, I think, if they'd continued a fast-flowing section and then cut back onto the section as Michael Booth goes for a spin in the same place David Junt did. Nice little pirouette there from Michael Booth in the section we were just discussing. But yeah, it's a challenge, shall we say, because the rest of the track is lowish downforce, and trying to maximise the potential of the straight line speed. But then that section, you get down there and it's hard to brake for. It's hard to find your braking point, and the brakes could spin you around if you're not careful.
Yeah, that last sector almost kind of reminds me of the, like say, Hockenheim Stadium section. You know, most of Hockenheim is very fast, very flowing, like here, but then the last sector is fairly technical, fairly tight.
Yeah, well, it's not the most technical challenge, it's more of a challenge of bravery, because it's also the place where you sort of lose the most time. It's not really like the Hockenheim section where it still had quick corners. It's sort of slow and ponderous and off-camber and hard to get on the throttle with the little banking in the final corner, and it just sort of, yeah, it's not the greatest of sections. I think it's a challenge, but it's not a brain challenge. It's more of a luck challenge in many respects.
Yep, here's a shot for y'all. Looking out the back wing from the gearbox of Robin Heisman, that car you see just off in the distance is Phil Diaz. He's just about a tenth faster on that last lap. Phil is over Robin. So we'll watch this to see if this develops into anything. Phil Diaz, of course, having an unlucky 500 also. He retired early on in the race due to an accident. Very high attrition in the 500. Of course, Chris, you were one of the retirements, so you can attest to that. But also the slowest 500 in history. That 500 2 weeks ago saw something of everything.
Yeah, it wasn't actually a bad race. I think that a lot of the times we sort of judge the oval races on the quality of the safety carring, I think, but I don't think the racing was that bad. I think we had good green flag spells. I think that we had different leaders in different positions, and it was a decent enough race. I think it was unlucky that a lot of people retired, but a lot of the problems stemmed from buggy collision balls.
Yep, Seb Hutchinson and Gasunis throwing up yellow flag. Seb, I'm not sure what. Gasunis, I'm also not sure what. They were separate on the track. Gasunis, it looks like he has backed it into a wall somewhere. One end kind of looks a little shorter than the other. So yeah, two separate corners of the track, and but at the same time. Back up towards the front, battle for third. Robin Heigerman and Phil Diaz. Phil just a little slower on that lap, but yeah, Chris, this is one of those tracks where you can catch and pull them in hand over fist for 6 laps, but once you get to about a second and a half behind, you're pretty much stuck there unless you can kind of catch them out through that fast chicane or get them out of the final turn.
You've got to take your opportunities on this track, there's no doubt about that. If you have a chance to overtake, do it. Stick up the inside. If they've got any sense at all, they're going to move, so just do it. I think if you wait too long, you're just going to get into a bit of a pattern of sitting behind them, and it becomes repetitive, and you're more likely to make a mistake, actually, I'd say. Here's an interesting thing. What's going on with Jarno Heikkinen? Oh, Donalik, into the wall. This could be safety car. No, he's going to get out of there, I think, now, actually. But that's a big hit for Donalik in turn number 2. He'll probably need to go into pits for that, for repair for that one. But what is going on with Jarno Heikkinen in 6th position, just now being caught by Dominic Engel?
I'm not sure either. Is it possible he got a setup wrong? If he had an incident, maybe engine damage early on. Seb Hutchinson causing a yellow flag.
He's aware.
Big off for Seb.
Yeah, a dreadful day again for Hutchinson, really, you got to say. Don't think he was near anybody. I'll check that. I think he probably just dropped it on the exit of the right-hander. Michael Booth right with him. I wonder if Heikkinen has gone for a massive fuel load. I've seen Jarno Heikkinen do this before. Look as though he's out of it and just out of the pace, and then it'll come back to him because he uses higher fuel load than everybody else, and he makes it work. I've seen certainly in a Fox League that was about a year ago, Cattell and Heikkinen were the class of the field, and Hutchinson actually makes a pit stop now. He's decided enough's enough. It's time for a pit stop, and I've seen Heikkinen do this many a time. Just sort of wait, and then at the end, he's always there, ready to go.
Yeah, he did that at round 1. We didn't hear much of him for the first half of the race in Aston, but he was reeling in Simon late in the race. Not enough, but Simon. Well, we can't take anything away from Simon in round 1. He was just dominant in round 1.
He's more dominant here, I think, at the moment. Anyway, 16 laps gone, 32 to go. It's easy to make a mistake though when you're cruising at West Hill as Grabowski. I think that's how you pronounce that name. Grabowski times out. He's one of our debutants, I believe, today. Hutchinson is causing another yellow flag. Hutchinson's off again. He's just been out the pits and he's hit the wall. Oh my goodness gracious me. Well, I think this is the end for Sebastian Hutchinson's championship campaign as Simon Cattell comes up to lap him. Hutchinson pulls out of the way. And this is just turning into a nightmare for Sebastian Hutchinson. It's been a poor race as Alan Turzic is spun now as well in the same. Whoa, Alan Turzic, how on earth have you done that, son? Wow, that car is very, very badly damaged. I wonder if... Oh no, there's a car coming, Alan. Stay out the way, please. I wonder if he's... How on earth has he dropped it in turn 1? How has he dropped it there? I'm going to have to go and have a little look at one of my little looks, I think, on that one. Look at that front nose.
Now, one thing I'm going to have to propose here about Seb, when I saw him here, I was surprised because he had said that he had to work. We thought, he thought he had to work, we thought he had to work, but seeing here, he apparently didn't have to work. Could it be that he just didn't prepare as much and it's coming up to bite him?
No, he's been around all day, so I don't think that's the issue. I think his first lap problems have sort of made him make errors, I guess, is the only way I can sort of describe it.
Yep, when Jarvie goes around to the right-hand side of Wilkinson, he'll have the inside for turn 1. When Jarvie gets around Wilkinson before turn 1, Wilco will have the draft into 2, but he will have to slow down a wee bit.
Yeah, I'm just looking at... sorry, I thought you'd stopped. Sorry about that. I'm just looking at Hutchinson's first spin before he came in the pits, and it's just a very basic rookie style error, really, not something you'd expect from our series champion. Touch to the grass and around he goes, and that's a mistake I made in my second ever Master of Endurance race, and Seb has laughed at that one, so I'm going to have to laugh at him at the end of this race for that mistake. And out the pits he goes. Just drops it in turn 4, crikey. That's a disastrous few laps there for Hutchinson, really. I wonder how Alan Turzic crashed. Let's have a look at this. Here comes Turzic in turn 1 for me. You, of course, can't see this. That's Turzic must have had a pop-up or something, because that's wow, that's interesting. The car just suddenly veered off to the right. I presume he had a pop-up anyway.
Looks as Jorg having a fairly big off through the fast chicane. Rasmus Salo causing a yellow flag in Sector 3. He'll be off in those S's there in the final sector, but he'll keep going. A little bit of rear right damage. Now we gotta kind of say though that this is a pretty high rhythm track, isn't it? And if you do lose your rhythm, it's pretty hard to get it back.
Yeah, it's all about concentration, really. Here, lose your concentration, put a wheel on the grass like Hutchinson or so many others have done. And why is Krampus going so slowly? Yeah, if you just put a wheel on the grass around you go like a top, really, and that's just the end of it, really. Krampus has massive damage, that's why he's going slowly. I suspect he's heading for the pit lane, like so many others, just 17 laps in, just starting to get too cocky, I suspect, or think they're too much in a rhythm, just let their concentration drop by a tiny minute, and around they go.
And yeah, this track is very unforgiving. It's got wide runoff, it's got wide areas to go, but it's all grass, it's all gravel. You either skip across the gravel, or you just slide across the grass, and then you have a massive shunt into the wall.
Yes, and something we haven't picked up on is Isaac Price is eating into Simon Cattell's lead all of a sudden. It's down to less than 3 seconds at the moment.
2.96 the gap.
Indeed, so Isaac Price on a charge at the moment after his teammate, though there's potential there to say that he wouldn't overtake, would you say, maybe? Let's have a look at how far behind Price is in the driver table. That Price is ahead for Simon Cattell, so really if Isaac Price can overtake Simon Cattell, he, despite his did not qualify embarrassment in round 1, well, that could be an interesting battle right now.
Yep. Just about the... see, that's nearing halfway. We've only had one retirement so far, and that's due to a connection. That would be Grabowski, the debutante for Sonic Realms Racing. Simon
Oh! Your time's been forced onto the grass. Sorry, Jonathan, that was just a game when he's been forced onto the grass. I think that they're all having problems with the back markers. Dominic Engel's going for a spin, I think, or something. Or he's going in the pits, I think, actually. But the back markers there, which Gasunis and Jorg really causing a little bit of concern there for Wilkinson and Ty. And Ty thought was going to get the double draft and easily overtake Newcastle United fan Chris Wilkinson down into turn 1. But that was a scary moment there for Jorg Tyne, who had to go up on the grass there, our championship leader. So really, that could have been a disaster there if he'd spun across the track. All his hard work as he's fought his way back would have been gone.
Yep, Jorg leads going into this round the championship by 3 points, but if the race were to wind down now, he would lose that lead. Robin Heischerman in the best position to capitalize on his position, but of course still quite a long way to go. Kempar's causing a yellow flag. That's a
turn 2.
Fairly fun off.
Sebastian Huntington lap down overtakes Corey Green, and Corey Green's going to get overtaken by Riegler.
Yeah. Oh, and then just a bit of a tap. Both of them do very well to hold that. I wonder if I didn't. That damage on Corey Green is older. Yeah, he's just got some damage. That's older damage he's got from an earlier incident. But yeah, I'm not sure. Obviously, I would infer an unfortunate run through the chicane. Seb gets around Steve Martin. Oh, and Steve goes for the draft. They're tucking up right against the pit wall. Seb tries a bit of a block. Doesn't get it. Ooh, very, very close. Very close here.
Yeah, I suspect the Hodges was just trying to keep him behind there, but if you've got the draft and you have the chance to repass to try and lap him again.
Green side by side into turn 4, and Riegler has to back out. Oh, but Corey nearly onto the grass there. I'm going to slow down to let Riegler look alongside, but he will stay behind. Look for a run through the chicane. And Simon Cattell resets fast lap again, 121.66. So inching that gap back out over Isaac. Jorg causing another yellow flag. So some close action here in the mid-pack. Now one thing, safety cars are employed in LFSCART, but this track is not always that conducive to safety cars.
No, it should be reasonably easy to get out of, but I think if you get in the gravel at turn 4, you're or up against the wall at turn 2, then you are in trouble. We might see a safety. We're more likely to see a safety car later in the race, I believe, as concentration wears off as Riegler repasses Corey Green, just edging in front into turn 1. Green will have to be careful he doesn't wash out in turn 1. That'll take care. Riegler takes over 12th position. So, Corey Green gets wide, and Riegler's gone now. But yeah, later on in the race, I think it'll be far more interesting to see if any safety cars come out, because of the concentration barrier that everybody will be going through. It's a very demanding track, this one, on the brain, in different respects, for concentration values more than technical values.
Yeah, well, and you could say it's also, it's physically demanding on you when you're driving. It's not just mentally, but physically demanding, just to make sure it can take, depending on your force feedback settings, it can take a lot to give it that turn it needs to get through the corner as fast as you want to go. Back looking up the battle for third. still just a few car lengths between Heigerman and Phil Diaz, but they've been holding fairly well between each other. Phil not getting close enough to Heigerman, Heigerman not falling back enough. Rasmus Salo causing another yellow flag. That is out of the fast chicane. In the meanwhile, Isaac Price resets fast lap at 1:21.65. Could this be a game those two are playing between each other to try and keep them both in it? Kind of play a cat and mouse back and forth. Oh, Isaac gets mucked about a bit by David Junt. David Junt having a bit of an off on the way into turn 2, and that will cost Corey Green with the yellow flag again off at the chicane. That one looks a little more massive, got a little more damage on that left-hand side. So nearing the halfway point. Corey Green retiring from the race there. Simon Cattell coming up to lap Yaroslav Dornalik, and he'll get around. Halfway home. Simon just needs to lead another lap or two to definitely clinch the 2 bonus points for leading the most laps, and so far Simon doing what he needs to do to fight his way back to the top of the championship table.
It's very sad, isn't it? The way that Cattell's taken to this road course adventures in LFSCART this season.
When he listens to this, he'll love hearing that, being a bit of a Prost fan he is. But yeah, I've been impressed with Simon this season. He's done good. He showed he had the potential last season. He just missed it by missing a couple rounds, just not being there. But I think he's grown a lot since last season. He has matured a lot. He is not just in his attitude, but in his skill, but a lot in his attitude. So I think Simon is the one to look for.
He's still a pain in the backside.
Yeah, well. Gap down to 1.6 seconds that time between Simon and Isaac. There you just see him through the shot. Simon just going off the screen. Sasha Riegler causing a yellow flag at the chicane. Yep. But we'll keep an eye on things for leading. You'll occasionally see Simon just ahead in the distance, ahead of Isaac. On board TCAM with Isaac, and you can see just ahead that little speck off in the distance. David Junt off at turn 5. Nothing major. Isaac goes purple sector 2, 28.93 compared to a 29.18 to Simon. Is this Isaac getting low on fuel? Is this Isaac coming into a groove? Is this Isaac pitting? Yes, this is Isaac pitting. Now we'll watch his pit stop. Let's see how he gets on. He'll hit his marks very well. Quick in, quick out. About a 7-second pit stop. Phil Diaz also into the pits. Robert Heiderman goes through into second right now, waiting for pit stops to cycle through. And Isaac is out. We'll see how much that costs him here, but that could have been Isaac trying to do the Michael Schumacher of pulling up. Jarmo Heikkinen, just behind Isaac, has to back out of it. So now we'll watch Simon. It is now up to when Simon will pit in. David Junt into the pits with some heavy, heavy right-hand side damage. When Jarvi also having a bit of an issue, he just pitting. So that's all that is. Damiangle will go through on him. Jorg off at the final turn, and he will keep going, not trip straight into pit lane.
I think Catel's heading for the pit lane, indeed he is.
Yep. So here is Simon. We'll watch Isaac. Isaac's under the bridge, just out of the downhill chicane. Simon rolls to a stop. We will keep watching Simon. So we'll quickly flip back to Isaac. Here is Isaac coming into the final turn. Simon is rolling now. So there is Simon. Yep, he will come out ahead. But how far?
He might have extended it. That lap was a pretty good one for Simon Cattell. Price was lucky he didn't end up battling Heikkinen, but Heikkinen is behind those two now, regardless of his field strategy. That's the pace that Cattell and Price were setting in this opening stint of this race.
Yep. Well, Heikkinen still has to make his compulsory pit stop, and so does this man, defending Kyoto 500 champion Robin Heiderman, as you see at the top of your screens there. 21 laps to go in this 47-lap race. And so far, Chris, I think this has been a pretty good race. Hold on, it's, you know, we've of course had sloppiness, but you have to expect that with this car. Let's put it this way: it's a beast of a car. It's 650 raw horsepower. There's nothing else between the engine and the tires except your foot.
Yeah, I think it's been interesting, sort of. I think I'd like Price to carry on catching Cattell. They made the decision not to change tyres, so that should be interesting at the end of the race. Like, it's right at the back of Isaac Price now. Is he going to be able to make a move? No, he's sort of blowing it into the final corner a little bit. But at the moment, I'd like to see Price getting his brain back in gear and catching Simon Cattell again.
Michael Booth, alert
Michael
the
Booth,
admins. We have maybe a problem going here. Tapping through the field, I don't see anything. So Chris will go try and talk to Boothie and see what's happening. Chris Wilkinson makes a pit stop. David Hunt slow out of the final chicane. Let a couple cars through and then rejoins the tarmac. So, just watching there, you see the gap between third and second, Heikkinen and Price. Tyan up to fifth on the track, but he has also not made his pit stop yet, so that is a little higher than he will end up. Ooh, and Jorg's a big spin.
Yeah, interesting how he got to that position on the track, but there he goes again.
Lycan and Price with a lapped car ahead.
It's Donnelly.
Donnelly, yep.
I wonder you'll be able to stay close at this time, Lycan. Braking's going better, that's for sure. Price is a little bit wide. Lycan certainly got the drive off the corner. He might wash out a little bit onto the pit straight, but no, he does not. And I believe that Arnold Lycan is going to easily take second off of Isaac Price. There we go. Price doesn't even bother to defend. I think he knows that his battle is not with Jarno Lycan today. It is with Simon Cattell. But this is going to cost him if he gets stuck in the draft for too long. Oh, hello. What's this? Alexis Jorg. What are you doing, Alexis? Get out of the way. Woo! That's not good. What on earth was that all about? Did everybody else see that? Was I just... Or am I just overthinking it?
I saw that too.
You had Donnelly causing problems for Price. Has been a disastrous lap for Isaac Price, and I think that has possibly given Simon Cattell more than enough of an advantage.
Heavy damage on a car up ahead. That's Lycan and Price just getting through. That is Krampus, excuse me. He is taking a tour on the grass, having a picnic, as Chris Wilkinson would have said. But heavy left-hand side damage, obviously spinning and slamming into the Armco.
Sensible driving though to stay as far away from the track as he possibly can with that damage. It was interesting driving from Alexis Jorg, really. Michael Booth causing a yellow flag.
Well, he just finished pit stop. Let's see what Lycan can do with Simon. Let's see if he can rattle Simon up a bit before he needs to pit. He's got about 11 laps before he'll need to tour into the pit lane. Krampus throws up a yellow flag while he is slow on the edge of the track. In the final sector.
Oh, and Jorg is round again, and that could be a safety car this time. That could very well be a safety car. It is a safety car. He's going to get away. He's going to get away, actually. It looked as though he was going to get stuck there, but he hasn't managed to get out of the track, and he put a wheel on the grass on the way into turn number 2. Watch out, please watch out. There are cars coming, flying through turn number 2. Go now, go to the other side of the track with that damage. That was a concentration error, really. That's the sort of thing you get at West Hill, just a wheel on entry into turn number 2, and he's going to hit the wall again in turn number 3. So yeah, this is going to be quite a lap, an adventure for Alexis Jorg. Already last by some considerable distance.
Pits now.
Yep,
and we'll see where Robin comes out. Now this is definitely a track where you don't want someone really slow on the racing line,
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe a caution could be called for this. So we hard for him even to go in a straight line. I'm just...
Yeah, Jorg slowly turning in.
Yep, painful lap. Oh, the lead just streamed past him. He has made it back to the pits, or it looks like he will make it back to the pits. Now, yes, he will.
Yeah, but as we said, this is a track with the line is so fine that you don't want to come upon, especially in the first 2 sectors, you don't want to come upon a car touring around it. basically pit lane speed because of damage.
Yeah, that's certainly correct, because you're going so much faster than other tracks. Interestingly, I believe Sebastian Hutchinson has caught Alan Terzic for 18th position, so this might be worth watching.
Yep, just keeping an eye on the gap. From first to second, it is 1.78 seconds at the last time between first and second. Laihinen running faster than Simon, but of course this could be, we know Simon can run the pace. But we'll keep an eye on this. Seb gets a run on Alan into turn number 3. He'll get around and take that position. Any position Seb can get will help him in the points table. And Seb just drives off into the distance on Alan. Now Chris, Jarno's got about 8 laps. Do you think he can catch and pass Simon before his pit stop? And if he can, how do you think that affects things? No, Chris appears to have gone AFK. Oh, Simon had a problem out of the chicane, and look at Laihinen. Laihinen gets a good run on, a very good run on Simon, and Laihinen will overtake Simon. But remember, Laihinen has to still make his compulsory pit stop.
I'm going to assume I missed a Simon Tell error there because I was away for 2 seconds and I come back and Laihinen lead.
Yeah, that's
Price
why
is all over Cattell.
You went away, so you missed it. Yeah, it happened out of chicane. All of a sudden, I look up and I see Laihinen just hand over fist coming up on Simon, and that's the only thing. Simon had to have made an error at the chicane. I didn't see it. Well, I think you probably may have caught it on the stream. I wasn't looking at that. I was looking at something else. But yeah, and now Laihinen will start to pull away, and that's just what I was asking you. I didn't realize you were away, but I'll pose this to you. So now that Laihinen's ahead of Simon, how do you think this may affect what happens when it's time for Jarno to pit? He's got 4, 5, 6 laps he can run to try and stretch his gap.
He's not going to get enough of a gap to win the race, but he might. I guess his aim is 3rd at the moment, beating Hydra, and I'm just trying to see if I can see what happened to Cattell. But his objective is to finish 3rd. I think Cattell and Price are going to be 1, 2. Woohoo! He hit the tyres. He did make a big error there, Simon Cattell. He's lucky he isn't in the wall there. Yeah, that's just what happened. I didn't really put much of a fight to the Laihinen there.
I think he probably knew he was head there. I think he's probably aware that Laihinen still hasn't made his pit stop yet. Jarl Tyne hasn't made his pit stop yet. So that will I think Heisman's looking at 3rd or 4th, and that will depend on what happens with this man, Jarno Laihinen.
Oh, Laihinen getting a bit squiggly there in turn 4. Behind Alexis Jorg. Get away, Alexis. Go. Uh-oh, this is not good for Laihinen. Cattell. Oh, Alexis Jorg. What on earth was that? Cattell's back on Laihinen for the lead.
Side by side into turn 9 and 10. Simon sticks with it. Jarno sticks with it. Jarno has the inside.
This is not helping Cattell.
Simon has to back off just a touch.
Not helping Cattell one little bit. I would be very, very annoyed with the poor driving from Alexis Jorg. Here we go, down the inside with Simon Cattell into the final corner. And Alexis York has held up these two really in many respects. There, Raikkonen still trying to come back at Cattell side by side down the main straight. Raikkonen just nosing ahead, but Cattell is in, so line for turn on 1. Where's Isaac Price? He's going to be very, very close to these two. Cattell probably will give up the position to Raikkonen, but he's going to lose out in the draft again, and this is costing Simon Cattell dearly. But I don't know what Alexis York is doing out there really today. I really don't.
Whoa! Wilkinson! Safety
car!
And I don't know what Wilkinson... Was he waiting for a caution, or is he stuck?
He's attempting to mouse out. So there goes Chris Wilkinson. He's changed to a mouse. I think that's what he was doing, bro. He was trying to get it out there. Dropped it in turn 4 as though you'll probably get a safety car in turn 4. He's going to get out. He's going to get out of the gravel trap. You're not required, Jonathan. You're not required at the end of the day. So that's going to help Raikkonen. That's going to help Raikkonen massively, actually. He will probably get a free pit stop out of this. Terzic going very, very fast around turn 4 as Wilkinson sits there, spins the car around, gets back going again. And that's a bit of a disaster for Chris Wilkinson, now down 19th position. I wonder if he'll pit and get some fresh tyres or something like that, but that's not good news for Simon Cattell, who's in the pits. Simon Cattell's in the pits. What's Simon Cattell doing in the pits? Simon Cattell's in the pits. What's he doing in the pits?
Well, look, he's not going to lose anything. They had enough gap on the next cars behind. Look, he's going to still come out second. He's got fresh tires for the last 4 laps. This is going to be a 2 or 3 lap sprint. Well, no, it'll be a 6-7 lap sprint, but he'll be able to go flat out the rest of the way. Isaac's got older tires. He'll have colder tires. Heigerman, look at where Heigerman is. He is 3rd, and he will be very close to the lead. Boy, this race ain't over yet. Stephen Martin, and Chris Wilkinson pulls into the pits and retires. 1-lapped car separates the top 6.
I think. Oh, see, mine's almost spinning. But I don't know whether that's a good thing or not to have fresher tyres. Maybe he thought that his tyres, after they got so cold, wouldn't survive. But we'll just have to wait and see. I don't think it really helps Heigerman. He does not have the pace, I don't think, to keep up with the lead two. It's all down to whether Raikkonen can get past Phil Diaz quickly, I think.
Biggest help in this, Raikkonen. But I think we'll get going probably next time around.
Oh, look, it's Chris Wilkinson. You crashed, Wilco. Wow.
I did exactly what I promised myself that I would never do here this weekend, and I just put away on the outside and dropped it. Silly mistake. Just tired and bored and generally not particularly concentrating, so that was basically my problem there.
Well, you've closed the race up, I guess, by being a bit silly.
Yeah, sorry. More than once I've done that now. So.
I'm looking at Isaac Price's rear tyres, and I can see why Simon Cattell pitted.
Well, yeah, Phil Diaz will be in the same boat as Isaac.
They've car on this lap, so we are going to go with 8 to go. Just give you a quick run through the order. Isaac Price leads Simon Kittel, Roman Heigerman, Phil Diaz, Jarno Laihinen, Sam Surfshivansu, Matti Vinchvari, Jarl Tyen, our championship leader down there at the moment, Dominic Engel, Michael Booth, Sasha Riegler, Jan Laprevolt, Stephen Martin, who's a lap down, the first of our lapped cars, Claudius Kasunas, Sebastian Hutchinson having a nightmare afternoon, or evening actually as it is, Alan Terzic, Kampars, Salo, Dahalik, Krampus, Junt, and Alexis. I'm a big roadblock.
Heigerman has spun it! Heigerman's binned it on the restart! He'll drop behind Hutchinson! Simon, that's luck for him.
Several people making big mistakes like that today, and that's the biggest profile one of the days, seemingly.
Yep. One
Here we go, then.
lapped car separates the top 5.
So whether Martin can keep up. And Price gets sideways as he gets up the throttle, but he's jumped, and Martin hasn't really got to go with him, and Simon Kittel's going to lose out here. But he's got the jump on the rest. He's got. In fact, Phil Diaz.
He just can't overtake a 4 line. He'll be clear.
Just perfect.
Just barely. Now it is up to who can be the fastest for these last 8 laps.
Isaac Price's tyres are horrible. Price is wide. Dale's going to easily overtake him, I think, here. You're right, Jonathan. He loses nothing. Diaz across the gravel in turn 2. We've got a crash down in turn 2, though. I heard cars bumping together. It's Terzic once again off the car.
A couple other cars were off, but we will be able to stay green.
Oh, what on earth is he doing there? He took off over a cone into turn 4. He'll get that out of the gravel trap, I'd imagine, but he took off.
Yeah, but here comes Kittel. Here comes Kittel. He's got the draft on Isaac Price.
Down the back straightaway. Isaac takes an inside line, but no chance to defend. Tyen causing a yellow flag at the fast chicane, but Simon takes the lead. Isaac tries to hold on, but can't. Fresh tires versus worn tires. Warm tires versus cold.
Yep, Isaac trying to be the last of the lane breakers there, and his tyres just didn't allow him.
He's got it. Oh, Kittel making a little bit of a move there, but Price is going to take the lead back into the final corner. Can Kittel hold it down the inside and maybe make a smidge back on the front straight? But they've got to be careful here because Jarno Laihinen has dispatched to Phil Diaz, and it's going to be all over the back of these two battling teammates. This is not over yet. Laihinen can get these two. Kittel's going to swing back into the lead into turn 1 round the outside, though. Price is going to be second. Leave each other room, guys. Please, leave each other room. Oh my God, you absolute idiot.
Take each other out. Laihinen slips through into the lead. Simon gets out ahead of Isaac. But has he got heavy damage? Yes, Simon heavy left-hand damage.
Oh, and as soon as hit Price, Dominic Engel's off as well. And it's a disaster for NX Racing.
With him.
I'm sorry, but that was all down to Simon Kittel, not leaving Isaac Price any room, and Terzic spins as well. So it's a nightmare for NX. Right? What on earth are they doing? They've just completely.
Oh, Dominic goes behind Terzic as well. Oh my God, it's all happening here.
The lead on us.
Kittel off again.
Gervansu has taken the lead on us. Kittel has heavy left-hand damage. He will have a time of it. We've gone from Kittel being lucky, Laihinen being lucky. Now look who's lucky. 3rd place. Heigerman.
Gervansu's the luckiest of them all at the moment. He's on for it at the moment. But that was catastrophic. I need to look at that again, but initial feeling is Kittel really should have left Price a lot more room on the inside there, because you're going to wash out there, Simon. You just... self-destruction from NX Racing there. In fact, why is Phil Diaz not there? Of course, he went off around the track in turn 2, but absolute self-destruction. Gervansu versus Laihinen. A finished person will win this race unless they self-destruct and give it to Heigerman.
Heigerman in a great position no matter what. Simon throwing away 53 points. He will end up at least a lap down, I am sure. Laihinen, I think, will have the pace over Gervansu. It will just be a question of can he get around, stay around. Kittel in the pits. Price in the pits. Incredible action on that restart. Just had to have happened. By the way, I'd like to take the moment to apologize to anyone whose speakers might have destroyed by shouting at the top of my lungs at that.
sure everybody understands, and it's just catastrophic. I still cannot. Whew.
Actually, we'll try to get a replay of that after the race. Campar is also.
I don't like that now, bars. It's a car park down there at the chicane. What is going on at the moment?
Look at the. Oh, no, it fixed itself. It looked like Dunlap's tire was just leaned all the way over. Transu, clean air. 0.27 faster that last lap than Lahaikinen. Five laps to go. Can Jovansu get his maiden LFSCART win? Can Lahaikinen get his maiden LFSCART win? Alan Turzik retires from the race. Chris. How much of that goes down to the concentration thing?
Not a lot. It just goes down to not leaving enough room for each other, really, I think. I said earlier that I thought that maybe Price wouldn't overtake Cattell, but that was, of course, because without me noticing that Cattell was behind on points, but that was crazy, and then the rest of it was even more crazy, to be perfectly honest. We haven't actually seen most of what actually happened in that turn 2 incident, I don't believe yet. It's just disturbingly crazy, but here's Jovansu and Lahaikinen, and really Jovansu is driving a superb end to this race. Can he hold on? That would be something quite spectacular. He's all over the place. This is fantastic to watch. Don't go off, though.
Oh. Now, is this going to let Lahaikinen catch? Lahaikinen, yeah, he's closing a little bit. Will he be able to close enough under braking and keep it out of here? Now we got to say, this turn 10 here, right-hander, is a very, very tricky turn. You can't. It's I'd almost call it a. I don't know how to describe it. But it's tough. You want to get on the power early, but you can't. You'll risk sliding out. Isaac Price causing another yellow flag, having an incident at the chicane. Luckily, he's
left rear tire's gone. His left rear tire's gone. That's what's happened. I wonder if Jovansu's going to have tire issues as well, because his tires are unbelievably thin as well. But when he's holding on, he's got 3 more tours to go, and the hold off yard of Lahaikinen as well. Absolutely crazy end to this race, all caused by Chris Wilkinson. I thought he was still here, so he could moan.
Isaac Price gets the drive-through on the way into pits. It's a question of who can keep it on the track. Lahaikinen has the fresher tires. Lahaikinen's strategy looks like it will pay off big time in a massive points haul. All the top championship people apart from Heigerman finishing outside of the top 5 if things hold as they are. Coming around into the final turn now, and to start the penultimate lap of the race. Pit window closed.
Lahaikinen getting squirrely on the exit of that corner there, and that's giving Jovansu the breathing space that he could just need to win this race. It looks unbelievably good for Jovansu at the moment.
The only question is, will those slicks last? Oh, he's having to slow so much. That's gonna let Lahaikinen gain back whatever he might pull away. Lap and a half to go. Nowhere.
I think they might just hold on. Raikkonen, for whatever reason, isn't as fast as I expected him to. Well, of course he's got to go through heat peak, when this is two different spectrums of tyre wear at the moment. We've got Gervais trying to hold on. We've got Raikkonen trying to get through the tyre heat peak without having problems. But we're going on to the final lap, and it's Gervais leading, Raikkonen second.
Yep. They will come out of the final turn. Come across the pit wall, crossing the stripe to start the 47th of 47 racing laps. Very quick race so far. So, on to the final lap now. Gap at the line, half a second. It's all up to can Gervais keep it on the tarmac. Keep it mistake-free for the last 2 miles.
He's just got to drive another lap like he did the last one, then he'll be there. But Raikkonen maybe is just going to be able to step it up.
Oh, Raikkonen
spins! And that is it. Surely,
Raikkonen
take it easy,
slams
Gervais.
into the wall. Where will he finish? Heigerman will take second.
Oh, what a crazy end to this race we've had. Phil Diaz goes up into 4th place as well. Gervais just has to cruise to the line now. Don't pressure your tyres. Don't pressure your tyres in the last zone. Please don't, Gervais. He's got it, surely. He's short shifting. Oh! He gets very wide there. Hutchinson's catching him as well, but Hutchinson's a lap down. Gervais just managing to hold on, I think, so long as it doesn't go in this final corner of an unbelievably strange last 15 laps or so.
Turn 13.
Gervais.
Turn 14. He'll tuck it right round the outside. Brings it towards the pit wall. Celebrating. And Samsa Gervais takes his maiden win in LFSCART in impressive, amazing fashion.
Kept it on the road. That's what I was saying about concentration. He kept it on the road. Nobody else did, or they collided with their teammate. That's something else for Samsa Gervais. That was he's delighted. You can tell that already. That's something else for Samsa Gervais.
Then we see Robin Heigerman coming in second. Went Jarvi will take 3rd position. That's a good run for Went Jarvi. So Gervais taking the win. Michael Booth coming in 6th. Heikkinen tours across in 5th position. So 50 points going to Gervais. Still waiting on Cattell to finish. And there he comes now. Where will he be classified? He will be classified 12th. So instead of getting 53 points, he will walk away with 21.
That was an interesting race, I think I've got to say. I cannot believe the two people who dominated the race in so many ways just basically self-destructed like that. You would have thought they would have been talking while it was going on, but I don't know what was going on there. I don't think we'll ever know, probably, but there's still cars going off on this run-down lap.
Yeah, it's interesting, but yeah, let's see if we get any of those 3.
None of them are here, so I don't think we're... Oh. Venturari, instead of coming up to the start-finish line, he went away. Oh well, here he comes again.
Okay, well, we'll get Robin Hydroman in here at least, so... Oh, and temper's flaring here in the post-race. But hey, since he's the one willing, we'll go with him. Robin Hydroman.
Yes.
The only word I can hear, or I can kind of gain or gather for this would be interesting.
The restart. Yeah, okay, very interesting. Of course, I made a stupid mistake. I went too early on the throttle and I nearly spun out, so I lost like 4 plates under the safety car. Before that was actually quite alright. I had a different strategy from the guys in front of me, so I thought maybe I could get an advantage out of that, but that wasn't the case sadly, and then the safety car came out, of course. And then the restart, I have no idea what happened. Alan decided to overtake me while he was a lap down, and I just thought, hell no, so I just stay on my lane, and he just went to the outside to enter turn 2 and he hit me in the front. And he spun out and I had to go back to 5th gear and slow down, and then nearly Joel hit me right in the back, and I was so lucky that he braked. And then all of a sudden I saw Simon Cattell just driving slowly after turn 2, and I was like, hey, oh wow, I have a chance. So I just kept on driving, and I saw, I don't know what happened in turn 2, but it was pure mayhem. And then of course the second to last lap, or last lap, I can't even remember, Jarno spun out, so I got second as a gift. But no, I'm happy, but I'm also, thinking, what the hell? Why did Alan overtake me while he was a blue flag? I don't know. I know it was just mayhem after the safety car, so yeah.
On that last lap, when you saw Lahaikinen sideways across and you knew you were going to take second, what went through your head?
At first I thought it was Seb, and I thought, okay, well, he didn't let me pass while he was blue flag, so I thought, well, oh, he gets what he deserved, Sorry, Seb, but that's really what I thought. But yeah, of course, Seb was really quick, and then I looked at the position, and hey, wow, Jarno's gone. Oh, okay, thank you. That was basically what I thought. I didn't expect to get back to second. I really didn't. So yeah, it was really interesting. I have no words for this. Really no words.
I guess you must feel as though at the moment that you've got a little angel on your shoulder just waiting to give you little bits of luck here and there, even after you make a mistake like spinning under the safety car, to be able to give you second position and I assume the championship lead after this round.
Yeah, that's for sure. In the mayhem I thought, I'm going to crash as well. That's the first thing I thought. It was just pure epicness. It was like 4 cars in a row in front of me. And of course I got very lucky, and I'm happy that I got the first place in the championship, and I got some good points for the team as well. So yeah, it's all good now, and we'll see what happens next races.
Robin, you want to go ahead and, I usually do the standing of the top 3 who I have. You want to give any comments in your native language?
Are there any Dutch people watching? Oh yeah, my grandpa is watching. Hi, grandpa. Yeah, sure. De race was best wel hectisch. Ja, veel problemen ook met mijn pace, vooral in het begin. En ik had gewoon meer brandstof, dus ik moest wat langer door en ik verloor daardoor best wel veel tijd aan het begin van mijn stint. Maar ik had een goede pace aan het eind van mijn stint en het kwam goed en ik had wat tijd terug. En en toen kwam de safety car naar buiten en toen maakte ik een fout, helaas. Viel terug naar de 7e plek. Maar door dat little angel on my shoulder, I got back to second and is een ongelofelijke race en ik ben niet 100% blij met hoe het allemaal is gegaan, maar verder, ik ben blij met de tweede plek, goede punten voor het team, goede punten voor mij en ja, dat was een andere ronde voltooid. That was it, guys.
Alrighty, thank you, Robin. Congratulations. You will be sailing fairly steady here in LFSCART after, good second place after your Kyoto 500 win. You will be sailing steady. You were the top of the game.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. That's for sure. I just want to be consistent, and that's what I'm doing right now. So that's the way I want to continue with this championship.
Okay, well, thank you, Robin. We'll let you go and get to your team and celebrate.
Yes, thank you.
In the meanwhile, me and Chris will take a look here at this restart and all the happenings, mainly in the goal to see how Joku, Juransu, got around Jarno for the lead. So, just getting that point in the replay queued up here. Of course, all the big carnage happened the first time around after the restart. We pretty much saw what happened live with Simon and Isaac, but for reference we'll show it again. Because after all, it is part of the story, so... Okay, so on the main straight, Simon trailing, Isaac ahead. He'll jink around back and forth. Isaac holds the line, slow it down to half speed as they head into turn number 1. And yeah, Isaac clips the grass and just heads out into Simon. They hit and they just get shot off opposite directions. Here's the view from Joku, who has to slow right down to avoid the spinning Isaac. Now let's go back to Juransu, who slips through clearly, not having to slow down. Now, what happens to Jarno up here? Or is it just Jarno's just slow from having to avoid? He'll take an offensive line, and Juransu just had the run on him. Yeah, just had the run. Around the outside, gets a little twitch on, has the inside though for turn 4. And yeah, that is how Juransu took the lead and ended up keeping it.
So it's a bit of a spectacular overtake, really, on the outside turn 3, regardless of whether Laikanen was a bit slower off in turn 2. Oh wow, he's got a little bit of a twitch in the middle of turn 3 as well. It's fantastic right from Juransu. That's a pretty spectacular way to take the lead.
Yeah, let's have another watch again. Let's do this one in real time. We'll watch TCAM on Isaac for the incident, and then we'll tab back to Joku. But no, this incident here, that's incredible that even happened. I'm not sure if either of them are going to protest it. They may settle it within the team. Whatever, but yeah, I'm not that. This will be interesting to see what happens inside the team. They nearly had the contact going into the turn, and Isaac just understeered out. I'll pause it real quick so I can get back to Juransu. On board Juransu. And yeah, I think what really killed Lahaikinen in that case was just because he had to slow right down to avoid the spinning car of Price.
Yep, really that's what happened to him, but he's up to full speed by the time they go into turn number 3. It's just pure bravery from Samson Juransu there. Determination that he was going to lead this race.
Yep, so your final comments on the race, Chris?
It was an interesting race in many respects. Not the greatest on-track spectacle, but you come to expect that sometimes from West Hill it can be or miss, and the end of the race was spectacular for some right reasons, some wrong reasons, and at the end of the day, that move there from Samson Yavansu at the end of the day did deserve a victory at the end of the day. To be perfectly honest, he was brave on his tyre choice, and that was a brave move, and he avoided the carnage, didn't make a mistake, and he is the winner today.
Yep, discussion thread I'm sure will be lively. A quick look at the provisional results here of all the finishers. 21 out of the 25 starters finished, so low attrition. We come to expect that at road courses. So, Samson Yavansu wins by 3 seconds over Robin Heijerman. Matthias Yardavi, 3rd. Phil Diaz, 4th. Jarno Lahaikanen, 5th. 6th, Michael Booth. 7th, Jarl Tyen. 8th, Dominic Engel. Sasha Riegler, 9th. Jan Laperoute, 10th. Isaac Price, 11th. And 12th, Simon Cattell. All of those on the lead lap. Sebastian Hutchinson, 13th, a lap down. These next cars also a lap down. Clytus Gisunas, Rasmus Salo, Stephen Martin, Roland Kampars. Got 3 cars 3 laps down. That'd be David Junt, Jaroslav Donolik, and Roland Krampus. And then finishing 5 laps down, Alexis Jorg. Series heads next to, this will be fun here in 2 weeks' time, 60 laps of South City long reverse. So, from one tricky track to another. What do you expect at South City, Chris?
It's hard to say with South City. Sometimes you get good races, sometimes you get terrible races. But yeah, let's hope that it's a good race, and let's hope we don't have any collisions or anything.
Yep. Again, it came down into this race. In this race, it came down to avoiding all the incidents and keeping your car on track in position. Again, Robin Heijerman having that spin coming to the safety car restart, finishing 2nd. Hey, that may have been good to keep him out of the way of all that carnage. So again, I'd like to thank Chris Ford once again. 2 weeks' time we'll be at South City, long reversed for the Grand Prix of South City. That will be July 23rd, right here on multiBC. So again, thanks to Stuart Baker for driving the safety car, Thilo Falkenberg for administration, Michael Booth for the tracker that was used during qualifying. I'd also like to thank 500 servers for the server for the LFSCART series and today's event, and of course, multiBC for providing the streaming. We hope you all enjoyed today's race. Once again, your winner, Samson Yavansu. So, from West Hill International in the United Kingdom, this would be Jonathan Palmer, and also on behalf of Chris Ford, thank you for joining us. We will see you next time here on multiBC. So long, everyone.